when you're at the bottom, the best thing you need to have is hope, right? And the second thing you need to have is a vision, because without a vision, men perish, right? And that, regardless of which stage you are at, I highly believe that if you have the mentality, you set your mind to it, it's just a matter of time. I've been building communities like since 2010. I've really enjoyed sharing value with people around the world. So I started off with creating my Facebook group, and that went off to build about 100,000 people. I've shared a lot of e-commerce. I come from an e-commerce background, so primarily starting from drop shipping, because when I started, I have no money, right? So drop shipping is kind of, yeah.
And when was that? When did you start?
I started in 2006, right? But I kind of got back into drop shipping in 2015, 2016. That's kind of like when I started going back into the same industry because of my past experience, and that led me to like creating a Facebook group and dropping a lot of value, seeing a lot of people's lives change, and that really gave me a lot of fulfillment, right? Being able to impact and become the catalyst for a lot of young entrepreneurs and, of course, aspiring entrepreneurs that got into the same industry and, of course, become the best version of themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, from what I understand, you were like one of the early models that helped a lot of e-commerce people. So you're the reason so many people have products all over the world. In a way, yeah, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Uh, my other question was just for context. There's a scale of numbers. So what can you say you've done in revenue to give people like understanding of the scale?
Over 200, I've did over 200 million in sales for e-commerce, and some of my software companies we have built Shopify apps that's catered to like e-commerce entrepreneurs. We've done over 1.5 billion GMV, gross merchandise value, for all my merchants. So that's kind of like, if it's not my own sale, but that's what my software did. But in personal sales, we've did over 200 million in dropshipping sales.
I'm just gonna take a moment of silence for 200 million.
That's sales.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. Oh, not profit, sales, not profit. Okay, okay, okay. So what does it take, or better yet, what valuable piece of knowledge or wisdom, uh, what's like a valuable nugget that you feel like you would like to share that allows you to do such numbers?
I think resilience is super important. As I shared with like the whole club yesterday, right? I think resilience is super key, because a lot of people think success is so easy, but it's not, right? But it's also through failures and lessons. I don't see failures as failures. I see failures as an opportunity for me to level up and an opportunity for me to learn more, as a lesson. So whenever I've been through like a catastrophic failure, or I got scammed by my ex-partners, I went through a pretty tough like upbringing, right? And of course, when you get started, you made some money, then you partner up people, the wrong people who takes advantage of you, who just want to scam you. So I lost all of my money, but as I start reflecting across my years, I realized that what got me from all the lowest point in life to where I'm at right now, it's through resilience and reflection, right? Being able to have a very positive outlook in life. Like just now when we're down 2-1 in soccer, people say, oh, you're gonna lose. I said, no way. Like, even though like it's not looking good, but we still need to have a very optimistic mindset. That's kind of like how I set myself up, and I think it has gotten me pretty far.
Where did that come from for you? That a resilient mindset. I just-
I think I think it's also probably because of my mom, right? So I've seen her gone through life, tough times, single parent family, right? So I've seen how she's gone through so much to raise me and Evan, like to where we are today, like, and she never gave up, right? She never gave up regardless of the circumstances and everything. So I felt like I picked up a lot of resilience from my mom, and yeah, that's kind of like how it pushed me forward. And of course, family is a very high value for me, and we're super close with my mom. So I think we picked up a lot of her traits in terms of like positive like outlook in life and all that stuff. I think it has really helped s- cement how I position myself and how I want to be as a human. Yeah.
What does? Thank you for sharing that. By the way, appreciate that. What does success mean to you? It has a lot of different meanings to different people.
I think in it really depends on which phase I'm at, right? So when I was younger, I would say success means like, oh, have money, right? But for me, success right now is fulfillment, right? How can all my every category in life is at the highest level possible, right? That means spiritual, mental, health, wealth, relationships, all these different categories in life. If they're all at an optimal level, I would say that is a success, right? So in a sense, we don't really want to just pursue one part, right? People feel that's the exact same reason why people feel empty whenever they have a lot of money. They're just partying away their life, right? They're just taking drugs, alcohol, sex, prostitutes, and all that stuff. That's because they are only focusing on one element and they don't have a bigger vision on how they want to contribute to themselves or to a bigger higher self. Yeah, so that's kind of like what I think success is for me.
Yeah, I love the depth of that. Yeah. My last question is, it was one of them was, does money bring happiness? But you really kind of got that indirectly, which is awesome. Um, I think, and just any like one last word of wisdom for someone who's like at the bottom, um, maybe like tapping into what has helped you push through in some way. Like one word of wisdom for people that are just like at that bottom level, like trying to get something going.
I think when you're at the bottom, the best thing you need to have is hope, right? And the second thing you need to have is a vision, because without a vision, men perish, right? And that, regardless of which stage you are at, I highly believe that if you have the mentality, you set your mind to it, it's just a matter of time, right? Be patient, work hard, hustle, stay focused, be in a good state, work your mind, work your body, and I'm sure it's just a matter of time whereby somebody succeed. So I'm so touched because there's people like from our community that 2 years ago they couldn't afford to come to our annual event, right? And I was just sitting him beside him today. 2 years later, he's doing 500,000 per month, and he's 19 years old. So, and he told me when he first reached out to Luke, like, hey, can I come? And he only has $10,000 to his name, right? And Luke told him, sorry, no brokies allowed. But it's not in a way offending, but it's more so like, hey, this is a high net worth event, right? Work harder, grind, push through. And he told me because of what Luke told him, he was so motivated. He just kept grinding and grinding, and he was just sitting beside me. I felt so good because of how we are able to become the catalyst, or maybe like a word of advice for them could mean a lot of things that change someone's life. So Capital Club is fulfilling because we're able to be the catalyst, and we are able to have so much impact. And when all these people come together, right, they will be able to be more willing to contribute to the club, at the same time contribute to different club members, and we're just building an ecosystem of like good people, good network, people who are just not here to just take, but also to contribute, to help one another, to see one another succeed. That is what really keeps me super inspired. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your time, Steve. Appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.